Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. It's Tuesday, time to talk about some new releases coming out this Friday, March 17th. There's about 500 albums total. I got 14 on the list for today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist that we put together, and also the Patreon page. Make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said in the intro, there's about 500 albums coming out this Friday. I've got 14 that I'm going to talk about on the show today. So if there's something I don't talk about, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to. And of course, like always, if you're unable to find any of these in your local store, all these will be available online. I'll put links down below for them. So this week, I think the big release is going to be this new U2 album, Songs of Surrender. It's their 15th studio album. This is all full of re-recorded tracks from across U2's career. There's a couple of different versions of this. So there's a black version. It's going to run you $43 online. There's a Amazon exclusive orange version that's going to run you about $50. And then there's a super deluxe version, which is 4 LPs. That's going to run you about $103 online. So depending on what you want to grab, there's a 2 LP, the black and the orange version are 2 LPs. The super deluxe is 4. So the 2 LP versions are almost kind of like a greatest hits collection of that bigger 4 LP set. But the 4 LP set has 40 re-recorded tracks. I think one is the only one that they've pre-released off of this. It's actually a really good version. So I'm definitely interested in checking this one out. I'm definitely going to stream it, though, before I decide to pick up a physical copy of it. You've also got Ghost releasing or reissuing Ceremony and Devotion this week. This was first released back in 2017. It's a live album. This is on lemon yellow vinyl. It's an indie exclusive. It's going to $37 online. This was recorded live during the Pope Star Tour back in 2017. It's a great selection from across their first couple of albums. I don't have this one on vinyl, so I'm definitely going to grab that one this week. The Dropkick Murphys are reissuing one of their best albums this week. This is Blackout, first released back in 2003. It's their 4th studio album. It's celebrating its 20th anniversary, and this is on translucent red vinyl. It's going to run you $26 online. My question is, why red? There's no red on this cover. They're a Celtic punk band. Nothing really makes me think red for any of their coloring or themes that they've had over their career. Maybe do a translucent green. I think that might kind of work better for Dropkick Murphys. Or the album is Blackout, so do like a translucent black maybe. I think that would be kind of cool. Regardless, so it is a great album. There's a bunch of great tracks on here. Some of my favorite Dropkick Murphys tracks are on here. Black Velvet Band, which is a great traditional Irish song, they do a great cover of on here. And the funny thing is about this album, when this came out, I had I don't know what year it was, but I had on MySpace, I had the track Kiss Me I'm Shit-Faced. It was my song that I had on my MySpace page. Like I said, great album. If you're unfamiliar with it, definitely check that out. And then this week you've also got Das Effect's Hold It Down coming out. First released back in 1995. It is Das Effect's 3rd studio album. It's a double LP. This is on smoky gold vinyl. It's going to run you $52 online though, so it's definitely a steep price for this Das Effect's album. It's a MOV release, limited 2,000 copies. Microphone Master, great track. They've now released the first 3, or reissued the first 3 Das Effects albums. And I think this one is, I don't remember what the name of their second album was. I've got their first album on vinyl. The second album they just reissued within the last couple of months. But I think this is probably the best of the beginning part of their career. So Music on Vinyl has another huge release coming out this week. This is Silverchair Neon Ballroom, first released back in 1999. It's Silverchair's 3rd studio album. It's going to be on translucent yellow vinyl. It's not as limited as some of the other MOV releases have been. This is going to be limited to 3,000 copies. So MOV did released a copy of this back in 2010, I think it was, and 2019. I think I've got the 2010 version of it. I think those were both on blue vinyl. I think it's just a reissue of that, but I'm sure they both sound great. Like I said, I've got a copy of it. I was just listening to it within the last couple of days. Great sounding album. It's gonna run you $40 online. Tends to be the kind of going price for those MOV releases. And then MOV is also releasing 3 singles off of that album. And these singles are actually kind of cool, and they've done this with Frog Stomp, and they did this with Freak Show also, which were their first two Silverchair albums. They released these singles, or they're 12-inch singles, but they've got additional music on there. It's got some unreleased stuff on there. It's got some alternate versions. So they're really kind of cool. They're kind of pricey, though. The first one is Anthem for the year 2000. It was the first single off of Neon Ballroom. It's on silver vinyl. It's only $35. Limited to 1,000 copies. So this has the title track. It has London's Burning, Untitled, and the Millennium Bug, which I don't think any of those three were ever released. The second one is Anna's Song, Open Fire. It was the second single off of Neon Ballroom. It's on blue, purple, and white marble vinyl. Also limited to 1,000 copies. It's a great track. The song is about Daniel John's struggle with anorexia. I think it's one of the better tracks off of the album. But this includes, of course, that title track. It also has Trash, an a cappella version of Anthem for the year 2000, and an acoustic version of Anna's Song. So, like I said, same thing with that first album. I don't think any of those were ever released. Then the third one is Miss You Love. It was the third single off of Neon Ballroom. It's on clear, yellow, and black marble vinyl. Also limited to 1,000 copies. Miss You Love is about Daniel Johns really kind of struggling with depression. It's an interesting song. It's once again, it's one of my favorite songs off of that album. But it has that title track on there. It has Wasted, Fix Me, and Minor Threat were the unreleased tracks that they included on there. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm a big jazz fan. I love these Blue Note Classic Series releases. I've discovered so many great jazz albums over the last couple of years that I probably would never listen to if it wasn't for this series. You got two new ones coming out this week. You got Herbie Hancock, Empyrean Isles, first released back in 1964. It's Herbie's fourth album with Blue Note. A bunch of greats on this album. You got Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Ron Carter on bass, Tony Williams on drums, mastered by Kevin Gray from the original analog tapes. For $25, I'm sure this is going to be a great pickup. And then the next one is Sam Rivers' Fuchsia Swing Song, first released back in 64. It's Sam's debut album as kind of a band leader. I'm not familiar with Sam Rivers at all. For $25 though, I probably will still pick it up. This week we've also got the next two releases from the RSD Essentials series coming out. The first one, this is the Offspring Smash, first released back in 1994. Offspring's third studio album. This is on milky clear vinyl. Of course, Smash was the album that kind of blew the Offspring up, really brought them to the mainstream. Fantastic album. Come Out and Play, Gotta Get Away, and Self-Esteem were the three huge hits off of here. $36, I don't think it's a bad album to pick up. You've also got Warren Zevon, Life Will Kill Ya, first released back in 2000. It says 10th studio album. It's on Smoking Skull gray marble vinyl, so I'm sure that's going to look really cool. It's going to run you about $33. This album was really kind of, I think, a return to form for Warren. His couple of albums before, I think, really kind of dropped off. Wasn't a huge fan of, but this is a fantastic album. The last two on the list are both from bands that, to be completely honest with you, I really need to go back and check out, because I've only listened to a couple of tracks from either one of these. The first one is Hanoi Rocks, Oriental Beat, first released back in 1982. It's the band's second studio album, celebrating its 40th anniversary, so I guess it was supposed to come out last year. I guess the story behind this album, first off, I'll say it's going to run you about $27, not a bad price. So I guess the band hated the original mix of this album. But the original tapes were lost for years and years. Back in 2020, they found the original recording tapes and were able to remix this for the first time ever. So hopefully this is a better sounding version. Hopefully the band is more satisfied with this release. I'll definitely stream it and check it out if they put it out on streaming services. And then the last one is Papa Roach, Ego Trip, first released back in April of last year. It's their 11th studio album. Infest, back in, I think was it 2000 when Infest came out, that was the only album that I ever listened to from Papa Roach. I wasn't a huge fan of that kind of alternative, kind of new metal sound. So, I definitely need to go back and check out a lot of their stuff throughout their career, including this new one. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Like I said in the beginning, about 500 albums coming out. I only talked about 14 of them today, so drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to. This week, I'm definitely going to grab that Ghost. I'm definitely going to grab that Herbie Hancock, Sam Rivers album. Like I said before, I love a lot of those classic series releases. If I can find those Silverchair singles, I might pick those up also, but I know they're really hard to track down because there's only 1,000 of them available each. But let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.